Welcome back to the second edition of our 2019-20 Monday Morning Tiers Power Rankings. Another 2 weeks of matchups are in the books, so let's look at how the performances during that time have impacted the league's power rankings. But first, we need to take a moment to give some props to the best player in fantasy over the past 2 weeks. Few amongst you will be surprised to see James Harden at number 1. There were concerns coming into the season that the addition of Westbrook might impact his production, but so far those fears appear unfounded. Harden has averaged over 40 points a game, along with at least 6 rebounds, assists and threes. This also means that 808s and fast breaks players have received back-to-back Star Performer awards. Now, let's move on to our rankings. Kicking us off in the dreaded 8th spot is Russell Up W's, who have dropped 2 spots since last time round. The injuries have continued to pile up, and despite a valiant performance against Still Feathery, things are looking bleak at present. Their standout performer was Jimmy Butler, who despite only playing 6 games managed a respectable 15th spot on Basketball Monsters rankings, which I will be using throughout because I think they are amongst the better ones out there. At number 7, we have previous bottom dweller Meta World War III. The story here is somewhat similar, but lineup changes still haven't been made to get Curry out of the lineup, and there was a questionable decision to drop Miles Turner. There have been some very strong individual performances, but being down a couple of guys will make any matchup tough. Amongst those good performances has been Nikola Vucevic, who sits at 5th in Basketball Monsters rankings over the last 2 weeks. Post-Up Dreams occupy 6th place, which is one up on last time but still short of where they'd like to be. The return of Paul George, who has looked outstanding in his first few appearances in a Clippers jersey, will certainly help, and Andrew Wiggins, who many have given up on after years of disappointment, is a great add to the Post-Up Dreams roster. So too was Jabari Parker, who has benefited from an increased role on the Hawks in the absence of John Collins, finding himself at a stunning 8th place. In 5th place are views from the 6. Some of their hot starters have cooled off a little, including Donovan Mitchell, but overall they're performing similarly to how we expected them to pre-season. This is nice to see, as so often this team has looked good on paper but failed to execute, finishing out of the playoffs at almost every attempt so far. Their standout has been LaMarcus Aldridge, who has rolled back the years, performing at a level good enough to place him 7th, which is a great return for the 39th pick in our draft. Scraping into our top 4, with very little separating them from 5th place, are last season's champions 808s and fast breaks. Andre Drummond has regressed a bit, but some astute pickups have helped, and having the best player in fantasy certainly makes things easier. We already covered James Harden at the beginning of the video, but here's his face again. In 3rd place, we have Take That for Data, following on from their 2nd place finish last time round. Jokic continues to look like a large shadow of what he has been in the last few years, but another European, in the shape of Luka Doncic, has really stepped up to the plate. I don't normally highlight a player in back-to-back editions, but my love for Luka knows no bounds. Hallelujah. Our previous leader, Still Feathery, finds himself down 1 spot in 2nd and didn't look quite as dominant this fortnight, which the rest of the league will likely be delighted to see. The addition of Miles Turner should, however, be of great concern to us all, and maybe questions should be asked of the waiver system which enabled such a travesty to occur. Speaking of waiver wire pickups, plucky playoff performer Fred VanVleet has been outstanding for the Raptors as well as Still Feathery recently. If we let him grab many more like this, we might all be doomed. That leaves just one team, sat proudly atop our prestigious rankings. Take a bow, Better Call Gasol. This has largely been powered by having 3 of the top 6 fantasy players as per Basketball Monsters rankings: LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns, and finally, their best value performer, Kemba Walker. Kemba has helped cast away all of those sad memories of the Kyrie years from Boston, looking outstanding as the Celtics jump out to an early lead in the East. And that's all we've got for this time round. Thanks for joining us once again, and if you do have any feedback, please feel free to post it into your nearest waste receptacle, unless it's nice, in which case jump into the comments or hit me up.